I just don't feel motivated to do anything at all, is what my client said to me just the other day. And here is why she felt unmotivated, and it is not what you think. If you are feeling this way, give me just a few moments and I will show you why you are feeling unmotivated and how you can ditch this lack of motivation so that you can get some shit done. If you have not subscribed yet, please take a moment to do so that you can be notified every single time I post a new video that is going to help you to create peace in your life no matter what chaos is happening around you, so that you can continue to build the life of fulfillment that you are craving. If you have some friends who you think could really benefit from learning how to create inner peace in their life, even in chaos, please feel free to share this channel with them. I hope that it helps them. I am so excited to talk to you about this because if you are feeling unmotivated, especially right now during this time of year, you are not alone. There are so many of us who feel this way. I was chatting just the other day with one of my clients about how she felt so stressed and so overwhelmed by all of the things that she had to do. She knew everything that she should do, but she had no motivation to do any of it. And it just made her feel so anxious and stressed and bad about herself because she wants to do a good job. She wants to be a great boss and a great mother and a great partner, a great friend, but she just simply did not have the motivation to do it all. This only made her feel more guilty, and it just continued to feed into her lack of motivation because she felt so terrible about herself, and it created this vicious cycle. So I helped my client to step out of this vicious cycle by quitting guilt once and for all, by releasing what it was that was keeping her stuck in inaction and aligning her to motivation so she didn't have to force herself to get things done. Instead of feeling like she was just wading through water that was beating against her, she now is able to flow with this energy and get things done with more ease. And she's even able to flow with the energy to complete tasks that she does not enjoy doing at all without her feeling completely awful about them. I understand. You're a high performer. You expect a lot out of yourself. You have very high expectations for what you are able to do. You want to do a great job. You can do it all. You've done it in the past. So why is it that right now you are struggling to get anything done at all and really struggling to find that motivation? And it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you need a better job. And it's not because you just need to be better. There are a few reasons why your motivation might be dwindling, and we are about to cover those right now. Number one, you are fighting your body's natural cycle. She wants rest, and you are fighting that with every ounce of your being. And it feels uncomfortable. And why we do this is because we live in a world that values intellect over and above most anything else in our human experience. But your intellect is such a small part of you, of who you are and what you can contribute and bring to this world. But the truth is that living in our heads just creates more anxiety and worry because we're focused so much on ruminating thoughts. And our focus is on taming all of these untamable, crazy thoughts that are happening in our minds on a regular basis. Your body is its own beautiful ecosystem that is cross-communicating across all parts of yourself and is so much wiser than you ever give it credit for. Chances are you are probably not spending much time at all tuning into your body, listening to what it is that she needs and providing it to her. Especially if what your body is asking you to do goes against what your intellect is telling you. Typically, we would value the intellect decision over our body's decision every single time. Also, learning to tune into your body and to listen to it is a skill set that not many of us have been taught, including myself. I had to learn how to do it, but it is something that you can absolutely do with some practice. Number two, you are bored when you used to be stressed, which means that you can no longer rely on the natural motivation that comes from working towards a deadline, to working with a fire lit under your butt, to being stressed as all hell to get that project done. Because now you have like time to complete something, that's a strange, very strange phenomena. You're used to performing and churning out work like nobody's business because you had so much that you had to get done. But lately, the pressure has eased a bit and you no longer have to work as hard or as much in order to fulfill someone else's timeline. And as you are working in an environment that does not have the same level of stress, and doesn't put you into the same level of fight or flight, it almost feels like you are coming down from an epic high as your body and your nervous system begins to come back down again to normal. Number 3, your motivation tactics are no longer effective. These tactics look like shame, guilt, fear, anger, sadness, stress. Usually, when I'm speaking with my clients and when we're talking in real life, we use words like should do, have to, ought to, when we are talking about completing most any tasks in our life. But how do those words make you feel? Because to me, it makes me feel like if I don't do those things, that my grade 2 teacher is going to come back into my life and scold me for not doing things that I should be doing. We love to force ourselves to do things because we think that that's the only way. That being an adult means we have responsibilities, and responsibilities are not fun, and fun cannot be had until responsibilities are completed, hence what my grade 2 teacher taught me. But there are other ways that you can absolutely motivate yourself. You do not need to force or shame or guilt yourself into doing that. And if you think that that is true, let me ask you, how is that guilt, shame, and fear motivation been helping you to get through this challenging time where you don't really feel that motivated to get anything done? Are they working for you still? If not, maybe it's time for something different. So let's talk about a way that you are going to get your motivation back, which will help you to perform 10 times better, and not to mention is a lot more kinder and way more fun. If you are excited about getting your motivation back without having to fight against your natural body's rhythms, without relying on stress or forcing to motivate yourself, please hit that like button to let me know that this video is resonating with you. And I would love to finish this conversation in the comments below. What is it that you use to motivate yourself to get stuff done? There are no wrong answers. I am just so curious to hear what it is that you do to motivate yourself. So I'd like to bring your attention now to the emotional vibrational scale. Now, this is something that Abraham Hicks teaches about the energetic frequency of our emotions. And science tells us that everything is energy, including ourselves. So I love to use this diagram to show my clients where their emotions are vibrating at. And when we look at where grief and guilt and anxiety sit, we can see with our own eyes how far away from joy that is. And so we tell ourselves when we're feeling anxious, why can't I just be happy? But this scale tells us that that is an enormous jump. So this shows the vibrational energy of our emotions. When you are down here at the bottom with guilt and stress, what do you feel like doing when you are in these states? When we are feeling these uncomfortable feelings like depression or anger or sadness, we find ways to cope because it is not comfortable. When we are coping, we are usually numbing out. A lot of us like to numb out with some Netflix, maybe some wine, maybe some weed. Maybe we just have like a little pity party for one. Or maybe we pick up the phone and we vent to our friend. So let me ask you this. When you're feeling guilty or sad, do you naturally feel inspired to do anything? So why do we think that this is the place where we need to motivate ourselves from, guilt and shame? Because it feels so hard. If I am feeling sad or guilty or unmotivated, it feels like I am pushing a boulder up the hill. It feels like I am wading through a current. Instead, you'll get motivation back if you raise your mood. You begin to climb this scale to match where inspiration lives. In other words, if you focus first on having fun or creating joy, you will be motivated. Dare I say, even inspired. And from this place, getting things done is so much easier. Your mind is clearer because you're not so bogged down by worrying about everything. You're not ruminating in shame and sadness. Whoever told us that having fun was the reward for hard work had it backwards. Yes, my grade 2 teacher was the one who told me that. But I have helped my clients to climb this scale sustainably and stay up there. Joy is not something that occurs to you randomly. It is not something that you have to wait for you to experience. You can climb your way up this scale and create joy yourself and create motivation once you are in a better mood. Otherwise, look at that enormous jump. You are sitting in guilt and fear and sadness, maybe even boredom or disappointment. How are you supposed to climb up that high to where motivation lives? That is a huge jump. I have helped my clients climb this scale, and as a result, they have been able to start successful businesses while working full time, going for that promotion, get out into the world and find deep love. They're not being tied down by the excuses of, I don't have time, I don't have the energy, because they're able to create that energy for themselves. When we act from the higher parts of this scale, from a place of joy or inspiration or peace, we get things completed so much faster because we don't have all of the distractions that our brain is throwing at us when we're at the bottom of this scale. We also have more energy at the top of the scale, and we don't make as many mistakes. It's just how it is. Can you see where this relates to your own life? Those times where you naturally feel motivated and inspired, and maybe you started writing a book that you've always wanted to write, or maybe you wanted to start a crafting business and you set up an Etsy page. Those little beautiful moments of inspiration that just move you and drive you to take big action that you may not have been able to take when you were feeling stressed out earlier. You can see evidence of this in your own life. And what I want you to know is that you don't have to wait for this inspiration to find you, that you can create it yourself. If you are struggling with motivation right now and you are eager for some support in climbing this vibrational scale so that you can be sitting up at the top in joy and peace and in inspiration, I have a very special invitation for you. I am looking for a few high-performing women who are feelers and who are done letting their anxiety rule their life and their decisions, and it is keeping them from joy and peace and fulfillment. Women who are action takers and who want to create peace in their life right now. If that is you, please click the link below to book in for your complimentary call, and I will share all of the details over there with you. Thank you so much for watching today and for liking and for commenting. I so do appreciate it. If you have made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for being here. If it resonated with you and you have a friend who could really use this message, feel free to share this video with them. If you enjoyed today's video, please like it. It really helps in this world. When you are ready, you can watch this video next.